Welcome back to another exciting episode of deck profiles and yada yada. My name is Coach, and this is Burner, Team Burner World. Set 3 came out 2 days ago. That is overturned. Set with overturned bots. So of course that means we got the Thunder Fangs. So that's exactly what we'll be talking about there. Alright. Thunder Emperor's Fangs, new flag. Circuits have the nice red and black and gold. The ones from the trial deck do not. Just so you know. New flag states that you can only use Thunder Empire cards, so that means no generic, so no spicy tech. Start with 7 cards in hand, 1 gauge, 11 life. The Buddy is a operative spear. He's a size 1, 4/1/1. He has the named ability Secret Operations. When he enters the field, you put the top card of your deck into the gauge, and you gain a life. Then if you have 2 more different world names on the field, you draw a card. He's the Dragon Emperor Legend. He's really good. And keeps things consistent, keeps you alive, keeps the gauge up, you know. Really nice, just for him to enter the field. Yeah. Was another point about the different named worlds on the field. He'll count for himself towards the effect. So if he enters the field and you have, Dungeon World or whatever the fuck on the field, you'll get the skill since there's Dragon and Dungeon on the field, which is really nice, and a lot of the cards do that in the deck. So let's get into it. Start from zeros. Play 2 copies of Art Dragon Baribalo. Sorry. 1/1/1. When he swings, if you have 3 more different world names in the drop zone, you gain a life. At the end of the battle, he attacks, jumps back to hand. He is your Blue Sky Knight Boomerang Dragon. That's free. Really good. He's going to keep you alive most times. Going to make sure that you have life to pay for most of your Thunder Empire spells. So, 2 of him, really good. Next 3 copies of the Buddy. Of course, 3 copies of him. Cause you want to see him. I could play him at 4, but at that point I feel like he's too cloggy. And his ability is once per turn, since I stated before, which means that if I draw him off of this, I can't do it again. And I don't want to stop my plays. So 3 is a good number for me. I see him pretty much every game I've played while testing this, and he does the job. Next of close to equally as good size 1, and he could be the Buddy of the deck as well, but I had to go with Operative Spitter because he just did a little bit more. Connect Ninja Tomonoshin. He's a 4/1/1. He has the skill BFF Sensor. When another monster enters your field, I can look at the top 3 cards on my deck, add a Thunder Empire from there to the hand, the rest go to the bottom. This guy is the tits. He's very, very good. A little bummer, little, salty that Katana can't use it. You can call Operative Spear choose which effect you want to resolve first. Get a card from him. Charge gaining life. Get a card from Operative Spirit. So you pretty much don't lose anything, and you can cycle through your deck pretty well. 3 him because I want to see him just as frequent as Operative Spear, but again, he has a named ability, so no 4-ofs. Next, 2 copies of Violent Thunder Armor Knight Eagle. Armor Knight Eagle, well, this version of Armor Knight Eagle is a 4/2/1. He has an effect of when your item swings, you can give him one of 2 effects. Double attack or rip a soul from a monster. Most times I'm giving him double attack because that's what, 4 damage if your opponent can't block, and that can still games. Really good. So splashable. Next, 1 copy of Blackheart Dragon Roll Dice. Just 1 because he's DDW and want to have an array of different worlds. Not many that I will want to choose from since the set dropped, but he's pretty alright. He has a named ability, which is Behind Edge. Yeah, Behind Edge. When a card is destroyed on your opponent's field, if you have 2 or more different worlds on the field, you can restand the Thunder Empire. So if he attacks, you have another world on the field. If you destroy it, you can target himself, restand him, or you can swing with other things, target them. His effect goes off. Really nice. You can give things pseudo double attack. Next, 1 copy of Rescue Dragon Electric Paddle. He's a 2/2/2. If you have 2 or more different world names on the field, he gets plus 5k power, so he becomes 7k, and he has move. 7k is important because that means I can touch things, and being able to fight things with high defense is really nice. So you can touch like the King Kaiserions, and you can touch Overturn Abigail, you know, really nice. Only 1 because he's not that great, and you know the 7k is cool, but only really in here because he's Hero World. I know there's like the spell from the child deck that you can use that's Hero World, but I wanted the monster, and he has moves so he can meet shield and attack. Next, 1 copy of the Thunder Friends, Thunder Warrior Orchard Glacier. 2/1. When he enters the field, you charge a card, which is surprisingly really good. He didn't need to have this ability, but the fact that he does makes him just a little bit more valuable. Also, if you have 2 more different world names on your field, he gets Penetrate. Barely use this guy for the Penetrate effect, mainly just to call him, get a gauge, and then he goes to the drop zone to use for fodder. Sound nuts, but whatever. Really nice. That's the end of size 1s. On the 2s, 3 are probably the best card that came out this set. One of the best cards that came out this set is Blackheart Dragon River Pain. River Pain is so amazing, and I can talk about him forever, talk about all the shenanigans that you can do, but I'll save that for another time, or whenever this gets posted, we can shoot the shit about it. 6/2/1. 1 gauge the column. He has the counteract ability, which is also named Black Induction during an attack phase, so you or your opponents destroy a monster on your side of the field. If you do, meaning you can target himself with his effect, which is so good, call a Thunder Empire from your hand by paying the call cost, which is not necessarily like tasking, because you can get a whole bunch of gauge in this deck and other things. But he's really good, especially if they want to, like, your opponent wants to destroy him. You could just like bait. Uh, they attempt to destroy him. You blow him up, call a new monster, continue attacking or whatever. He also has another ability, which is again outshined by the first one, but is when he enters the field, you blow up a monster on your side of on your opponent's side of the field, which is really nice as well. So just in the realm of the combos you could do, you can call him during an attack phase. So if it's your opponent's turn, you can use this effect, blow him up, call another copy of him, destroy a monster, and maybe call him center just to have, like, protection, whatever. Really good. 3 of, because we want mixed numbers of different worlds and whatnot. He could become a 4 of, but I don't know. Three's alright. It's been working out fine. 1 copy of Thunpire Godel, or Thunder Fighting Dragon, Demon Godel. Demon Godel is here for pseudo protection and to get rid of items, or to tell items to sit down in case they can't be destroyed. 725, call him over top of a dual dragon or Thunder Empire and pay 2 gauge. All attacks get redirected to him, standard Demon Godel effect. And counteract, discard a card from your hand, rest or destroy an item, Soul Guard counterattack. Amazing. So good. The best. Only a 1 of, because you don't necessarily need him all the time, but when you do have him, he's great. 2 copies of Divine Sword Dragon, Saint Holy Sword Dragon, came out the trial deck. You only get 2 of these in 1 trial deck, 1 foil, 1 not foil, so just be prepared for that. Size 2, 5, 2, 3, free to call, which is really nice. 2 abilities. First one is, if you have an original size 2 or greater monster on the field, he gets reduced down to a 0, and after he swings, if you have a Thunder Empire item equipped, he bounces back to his hand. So he's essentially like another boomerang. 2 of him because he has better stats than Bari Balo. So he can fight things because he got 5k power and he has 2 crits, so he can potentially kill someone. 2 copies of Bats Afflicted by Dankness. He's this card is fun. This card is fun for me. I'm glad I picked up a 2nd copy to play 2. Not good enough to play more than 2 in my opinion, but 2 to splash in and tell your opponent, dude, there are some effects. So he's 2 gauge to call. He can be destroyed during your turn, which is like, it's pretty sad, but he has a nice add-on is when he's destroyed, you draw a card, so he can replace himself. Also, at the start of your attack step, at the start of the attack step, he rips a gauge. Then if you have 4 life or less, you also burn your opponent for 2 damage. So it's like he essentially has triple attack in a way. Really nice. The main effect is to mitigate their gauge. That's why he's in here, and really care about action. But it's good, and he's dual world, so he can trigger most of the effects that he's a different world on the field. And also when he's in drop, he will kill those 2 if you don't have a Dragon World or a Darkness Dragon in the drop zone already. Last of monsters, 2 copies of Execute Officer Quadrangle, Farquad, Lord Farquad. Size 3, 814. Over top of a monster on your field. Yeah, put a monster from your field into his soul, pay 2 gauge. He has quadruple attack, Soul Guard. So he can swing 4 times by himself, which is really nice. So he only has 1 crit for most of the game until you're at 4. And when you're at 4, he gets an extra crit and penetrate. So he becomes even more lethal. But he has quadruple attack. Yeah, this guy's amazing. He could become a 3 of, but I don't want to see him that early. So definitely a 2 of. That's the last monsters. On the weapons, we play 3 Art Dragon, Odachi, and two Drago Royals. Yeah, love that proxy, right? Drago Royals in here for the late game, like when we're at low life and we want to go kill the opponent. It has 2 effects. Pay a life to equip it. If you have bots on the field, it gets +6 power, so it goes to 9k. And when you swing, if you have 4 life or less, it gets double attack. But Dachi's in here to mitigate the gauge that we need. This is why you can ramp gauge really fast. Gauge and life to equip it, 3-2. When a monster swings, get +3 power, so it goes to 6. And when you touch your opponent or touch a monster, you get cash back, so you can charge a card. Really, really good. Want to see this early game when I'm at low life. Want to get this. So only 5. Don't want to clog it with other things. On the spells, we're playing 4 of the new Shield Thunderbolt Mark Earn. It's a battle or circuit clone. If your center is open, negate an attack. 3 in the new shield of the set of Thunder Emperor Dragon Shield. If you have a Thunder Empire item equipped and your opponent swings, nullify, gauge a card. Really nice, blue Dragon Shield, but having an item equipped kind of sucks because if your opponent goes first and they can OTK, you can't really. 3 copies of Arc Dragon Shield. Kind of the same reason why this is at 3. Can't use it first turn, like if my opponent's going first. If you have a Thunder Empire on the field, you can cast this card. If your opponent swings at you, nullify the attack, draw a card. Helps you cycle through. Really good. 2 copies of Nice Thunder. Out the trial deck. You can choose and use one of the 2 effects, so this is free to use, which is really nice. Charge 2, or if your life is 4 life or less, draw 2. Primarily, you might just get the the charge 2 out of this, but if the game's long enough and you draw into this, that's 2 cards for nothing. Amazing. Next, a card that I would easily play 3 of, but I only have 2, in the name of the Thunder Empire. You can only cast this once per turn. You pay 2 life, and then you call 2 Thunder Empire from your drop zone to different areas on your field. Yeah, so you can call a Tomoshin and Operative Spear. They'll both trigger. Primarily you're calling back the things that activate when they enter the field, and then go from there. So this 1 card turned into 2 cards, which is really nice. Yeah, it's just very. I would say this is kind of important to playing the Thunder Flag. 3 Thunder Dials. Kind of an older card. I think it came out the first set. No, it came out of, was that Crossing Gen? Maybe? I don't know. Counter, choose a Thunder Empire on your field. Next time be destroyed, stays here. Things on the field can't be popped. So, set spell, item, monsters. Keep them there in case your opponent has like tricky destruction. 3 of these because you want to see it. 3 copies of Thunder Track. Going to search your weapon. You pay life to cast it. If you search the weapon with the first effect, you pay gauge as well. If you use the second effect, you pick up a Dragon World monster or Dragon World Impact from the drop zone added to your hand. So you can pick up quite a bit of monsters with that. So you can pick up Bats, Operative Spear, Holy Sword Dragon, Farquaad. You have a lot of targets, so understanding why a majority of the Thunder Empire cards are Dragon World doesn't make sense not to play them. we'll be playing one copy of Offerings to the Thunder Empire. Well, Emperor, sorry. You can only cast it if your flag is, Thunder Emperor thing. Choose one of the two abilities. Charge 3 or gain 3 life. Depending on the situation, use the one that you need to. Only play that one because it's a nice card. It's a nice touch. Like, it doesn't hurt you because if you don't need gauge, you gain 3 life. If you don't need life, you can charge your guards. Nah, if it was at counter speed, that'd be pretty ridiculous. But we play 3 copies of a bot slink. Yes, this card is pretty self-explanatory. It's been out since the first set. Been out since the first set. This card will keep you in the game. You can only cast it if you have swung 3 or more times. Counter, look at the top 3. Add a card to your hand. Add a card from among those 3 you look at to your hand. Charge the other 2 and you gain a life. Card's pretty bananas, and again, it helps you ramp gauge. Still testing out some stuff. Want to continue building. This is just what I have so far, and with testing, it's been going really well. Might put the old impact in there, the one that when your opponent's at 5 life or less, they don't got an open center, kill them. Pay 3 gauge, kill him if he swings 3 more times. The new impact's a little. I feel like I gotta commit the bats too much, and I'm not, and I don't want to do that. So we're not gonna consider that one for me. But yeah, this is my profile. Glad you liked it, or not, whatever. Hope you can learn, or hope you can get some ideas bounced off of this. I was really excited for this flag.